Hello, welcome back to the stream. I had a lot of fun yesterday doing this, and the phone surprisingly held up quite well. So I thought we'd just jump back in and do it again. Might be a nightly occurrence. I mean, I always start with great ambitions for a nightly and daily video series. I tried doing daily vlogs back in some point in the past because I was like, I can totally do that. I could totally make 10-minute videos every day. I could pray to the algorithm and it would reward me. And I think I got like 8 videos into Awful Waffle, it was called. I was really proud of that. Yeah, I got like 8 minutes into that, 8 videos into that, and gave up because it was not easy at all. Like there were like certain days doing it, I was like, this is easy. I can just talk about something that's happened that day and get away with it. But then like by the end, I was just like, I don't have anything to talk about. This is ridiculously hard to even do as a joke. So goodness, those people that are out there doing legitimate content every day, that I got newfound respect for that, and then I think I lost that newfound respect pretty soon after that. But now we're back, and we're here, and we're going to talk about Transformers. And it looks like we've got one listener. I don't know if that's just me, because like we had one listener to start with yesterday, and then it went away. So I don't know if it just takes a while to realize that I'm not listening to myself talk. I mean, if you're real, maybe like comment as well. That'd be cool, listener. Um, Today we're going to keep up with the hauls because my idea for getting back into this was yesterday I'd start with my least recent haul that's still reasonable to talk about. So I talked about the Prime Masters for, you know, 10% of the nearly hour long video that it ran to. And I thought I'd kind of keep that up. And today we're going to talk about what I got from Cumbernauld Comic Con. My good friend Shugly Boogly Shanks told me that Cumbernauld Comic Con is a meme or a joke, and I didn't know that at the time, and I've not actually looked it up since. If that's you, Shanks, watching, let me know, because you were saying it was some kind of joke, and I was just like, oh, right, that's okay. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, actually. It was one of those local cons that isn't. It's not like a con. It's not like a huge venue or anything. It's really just like a couple of rooms with people selling their old comics and toys and whatnot. It was pretty good though. I say it was pretty good. It was pretty good in comparison to my local con, which was all right. It was just very, very packed. It was one of those cons where you go, it's a small venue, small like hall. It was one hall this time in my local one, and it was very packed. I got Classics Prime from that con, so I really shouldn't like diss it. But in comparison, Cumbernauld Comic Con I thought was a lot more fun, and then we got to have a rake around Cumbernauld Town Centre, which is just a shopping centre, and it is a time warp. It is a mad, non-Euclidean, very, very brown, very tiled nightmare complex, and I loved it because it's full of charity shops. Where I didn't get any Transformers that time, but I have in the past. Which I didn't get Transformers actually. I got wee John Luc Picard for the Starship Enterprise. That was a lovely find actually. I might talk about that one of these days. This time though, went to Cumbernauld Comic Con. I wasn't expecting to see any Transformers or anything. I never really am expecting to see Transformers, so I'm always surprised when we are. There was two guys, two stalls or stands with Transformers, and there was three actually. There was one, first we stand actually had animated Ratchet, like with his beer gut, and I picked him up. I had a rake. I mean, he was in pretty good condition, and I asked the guy how much he was, and he was like, I think he was like £7 or £8, and I was like, and I did that thing where you just, you put the thing back down and you walk away, and that's probably an okay price for like an animated toy these days. But I was like, this is the first thing. I better hold on to my dollar and see what else there is, and I'll come back. I'll come back because probably no one's gonna buy up that Ratchet. No one. Well, I was a wee bit apprehensive actually, or a wee bit Excited, apprehensive, is there a word in between there? Maybe. I was excited because before we got into the con, there was a dude. Oh, I hear you like Transformers, David McInnes. Wow. I don't know if I can text back to you, David, because I suspect my phone will crash if I do that. Need to get a new phone. And yes, I do like Transformers to a disturbing degree that I've actually had to think about lately, and it is starting to consume my life. Yes, oh no. Oh no, indeed. It's a kind of a miracle that I can see your comments. Like, I'm surprised that I'm streaming and seeing comments at the same time and things aren't crashing. Like, we're 5 minutes in and it's holding. And it's only holding because it's not streaming video. Like, are you seeing video? I bet you're not. Like, it can take a picture. Minor miracle. It's a major miracle. The It's a major miracle. I'll have you know. I'll tap on the desk. Absolutely no video. Yeah, it's weird because the phone will take a picture and video for the thumbnail with the front camera, but because my screen's cracked, I imagine that's why it's not taking video. Like why can it do one but not the other? We had two viewers for a second there, David. I don't know if you were the second one and I'm the first one, but like yesterday there was 0 viewers, so there's someone else out there that saw this. Oh, look, you liked it as well. Oh, this is exciting. This is genuinely exciting. Cumbernauld Comic Con. You were there with me, weren't you? It was magical. You think you were the second? Woo! Two people. This is better than yesterday. This is exponential increase in viewership. I am astounded. I don't know why I'm like looking at the screen, other than like anticipation for more likes and views. It was cool. It was cool, wasn't it? It was over multiple rooms, which was better than the Sterling one. The Sterling one was only that wee Albert Hall, and like they had stuff. They had a man singing about farts. I want to say he was singing about the kids loved him, and they had like multiple Batmen, and it was only like £2 to get in. So, that was a vaguely successful little con. I think the trick with those cons is there's like loads of them. Like there's just one company that's going about making the same con but in various like little towns. It's a con. I kind of like that. I kind of want to go. There's two people again. Jesus Christ. This is exciting. It's like a con where like whatever company is running those cons is just going about picking up halls and like getting vendors to come and then raking in the moolah. I imagine they made like, yes, mega corporations, you know? I imagine Putin's got his hand in it. You know, this is probably one of his like disinformation schemes where he runs like little local cons on the side to seem like a cool guy. What were we talking about? Transformers? Yes. I got two Transformers. I got Generation 2 Hero Megatron, also known as Archforce. Well, I suppose he's not Archforce because he doesn't have the lack of a tattoo. He specifically has a giant sticker that says Megatron rules. And I feel like I made away like a bandit. I feel like I made away like a bandit because like I went up to the guy and asked him, like I batted away some children, and then I picked up the tank and I played it cool and I was like, hmm. And that's the key with these things. You don't ask how much is a transformer because you don't want to look like you know what you've got. You want to look like you don't know what you've got. So you pick it up and you're like, how much is this tank, son? And the guy was, I think the guy, he was like a young studenty guy, and I think he was selling for someone else because he said, I think he said, like referring to a third party that I think he said that's worth a fiver. I was like, a fiver. And then there was some kerfuffle about I didn't have a fiver, I had a tenner, but he didn't have change, and I was like, oh. And then I had a look in the box, and they had another big beefy toy. Didn't know what it was. It was one of those instances where you pick up Transformer and you're like, is this a Transformer? Is this a knockoff? Is this like a non Hasbro licensed product? But it turned out it was Movieverse Mudcap. Is it Mudcap? Mudflap? I'm gonna call him Mudcap. I want to say he's Mudcap. It doesn't matter because he's big, yellow, boxy. He's a Cybertron toy. He's one of those Cybertron lads that got repainted for the movie line when the Transformers 2007 film came out, and like blew away the toy competition that year. It was a huge success, so they had to get more toys than they made into the line, and when Hasbro needs to do that, they just repaint things. So they took the Cybertron toys, and I think it was mostly Cybertron. They took the Cybertron toys and then made them into Movieverse guys, and they didn't make any effort into that. They just painted them yellow. I think he was blue originally. It was like this. Transformers do this thing where like original uses of the toy aren't painted the colors you would expect them to be, because I think the original use of it was blue, and like he's a big like hook man, like a big extendable arm construction vehicle dude, and you expect them to be yellow. I mean, maybe that's just me, but you'd expect that. I think he was French in the cartoon. I really want to go back and watch Cybertron because I hear everybody has really dumb accents. Like I hear Jetfire has an Australian accent that they rationalize as being a Nebulon accent because whoever was working I guess not social media team, but like the fandom representative back in 2006. They had a good time with justifying some creative decisions in those cartoons. But I got him. I came away basically spending a tenner getting a really beefy Cybertron toy or movie toy, I guess, if you want to be pedantic, and a Generation Two toy. And I've never owned, well, not to my knowledge anyway. I've never owned a Generation Two toy. There was probably like a vague span of time when I was like 4 that I probably had Generation Two. Oh no, I tell complete lies. That is ridiculous. I had Clench. I had the Transformer called Clench when I was wee. I must have been like 4 or 5, and then my dad bought his Transformers from the car boot, and it was Clench and Inferno, so a hella G2 pairing. Was Inferno the Autobot G2 leader? I'm not clear on that, but Clench was meant to be the new Megatron, wasn't he, or the new bad guy leader? Was he up against Thunderclash? Was Thunderclash the Autobot leader? I don't know. Point is, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy to get those two guys. Before I picked them up, and before I went into the con, we were in the Asda, and there was just a dude, like, confidently strolling through the Asda with a Transformers Armada Unicron in the box. And, like, my eyes just, like, lit up. I was like, what? Where did you get? And I was like, oh, he got it from the con, because, like, he didn't just, like, bring his boxed Unicron out to have the Asda with him. And, like, where else would he have got it in Cumbernauld? Maybe the comic shop, but the comic shop guy was at the con, so he must have got it from the con. That Cumbernauld Asda was incredible. It pales in comparison to the Livingston Asda, though. We need to go to the Livingston Asda. I talked about it in the video yesterday for quite a while. It's like maybe I'll talk about it every night because it's a mecca, like it's a cathedral of commerce. That mezzanine level iconic 2000 supermarket doesn't. Mezzanine level? What's a mezzanine? I don't. Explain what a mezzanine is. Okay, I'll wait for him to explain and I'll keep talking about Cumbernauld. I'm quite tired now, I've worked all day again. They don't mean mezzanine levels anymore because they don't have enough stock. What's a mezzanine level? Why? What is a mezzanine? The floor that's not full of floor. The floor that's not a full floor. Okay. Was this in the Asda or was this in the shopping centre? Where the travel actors go up to. The travel actors? Travelators. Travelators. Mezzanine. Oh, the escalators. Was this in the Asda? Did they have it upstairs in that Asda? I didn't even notice. Like I say, the one in Livingston, we need to go there sometime because it's incredible. Like you can't see the end of it. Like I'm not usually the biggest fan of Asdas, but we definitely need to go. I suppose I should probably get on back track about talking about Transformers as well. I mean, I could make this about anything. It's just you and me that are watching and listening to this. Yes, I got two Transformers, I saw the Unicron, and where this story was going was that the second or third stand that we went to in the con, there was a dude, and he was clearly like some sort of power seller of nerd stuff. That PS1 Classic. What PS1 Classic? Oh, okay. I gotta get work better at filling the silence when people ask me questions. So this is all good learning experiences. Have you not seen Sun? No, is there news? Tell me, caller, what is the news? I can't actually look at the news because I'm using my phone to stream. I suppose I could go get the laptop, but that would leave an unsightly silence in the video. There's a PS1 Classic. Oh, is like the Nintendo? Like, have they dropped like a PS1 Classic thing? Like the NES Classic and the... Yes, like the NES and the SNES. No! When did this just happen? Don't have stolen the idea. Hmm. Sony have stolen the idea. Well, that's great. Is it out now? What's on it? Is Toy Story 2 on it? Is Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue on it? Is Phantom Menace on it? I imagine Wipeout will be on it. Metal Gear? Is Metal Gear on it? Are Konami involved? What does Kojima have to say? Oh, I imagine there'll be like that Castlevania that people like. Um, just thumbs up if all these things are coming through. Aye, that sounds great. Would I buy that? Isn't that what the PS4 store already does? How does that work? Does the controller that come with it have dual shocks? Is it grey? You're just saying "je." Is that like "ja," like "ja"? Are you now German but slightly bad at spelling? God, we're at 20 minutes. Anything can happen with live radio, I guess. This is what this is. But I would buy that if I had money, would be the answer to that. I would purchase it, play it a little bit, and then... The controllers don't have analog sticks! What? What are they doing? What? What games do you actually need analog sticks for on a PS1, I suppose is the question. It is mad. What are the have they said anything about the games? Do you know the games? Because I already own Metal Gear, so I don't need to. Like everything past 98 uses the dual sticks, because it can't be everything past 98 on the games. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3, and they're one of the racing ones I'd imagine probably on there. They've announced like 3. What are the 3? Metal Gear, Tomba. I would buy it if Tomba was on there. I'm probably shouting now, but this is exciting. I would buy it if Final Fantasy VII and Ridge Racer Type 4. Okay, I already own Final Fantasy VII, and I'm pretty sure it's coming to the Switch, which is where I'll probably buy it, because, oh my god, the Switch and the year that it is having. I've only played a bit of Final Fantasy VII as well. I got the PS1 disc from a charity shop, and I tried to play it, but I don't have any nostalgia for it, and I never played it in the past, so I didn't connect with it, as they say. I think that's cool. I mean, like, what do you face? Can't I think of the name? Mega Drive people. Why is it eluding me? Nintendo. Sega. Sega have been putting out Mega Drive, old classic Mega Drives for like 20 years at this point. So Nintendo stole that idea from them, and then Sega probably stole it from someone as well. The TV game people. That's what those things are. the plug and play folk, I'd probably be more excited for a classic PS2 next Christmas. You know, think of the lineup. Think of the struggle someone would have to put games like 20 games or whatever on that. No dual sticks though. Like that's a really odd decision. Is it like wireless? Is there a wire? Is there like a famously short Nintendo wire that goes into that? Why would they? Hmm. Rayman 1. They should put Rayman 1 on that, and maybe 2. Did 2 come out on the PS1? I believe they're USB. Well, that's cool. Like, PlayStation proprietary USB, because that's terrible. Or like the Wii Mini USBs. Hmm. I don't. I'm trying to think of more than 5 PS1 games that are like not licensed terrible things that I love that would never be put on this. They should go to Pixar and Disney and be like, "Oh, we need Toy Story 2 for this because that is one of the best games of that era." Oh, if they had like a Mega Boost or Titan Wars, that was like an FMV Star Fox clone with like live action actors from like Babylon 5. Like it was that era of the 90s where they're just making sci-fi stuff every 5 minutes. Love that game. Never finished it. I've always meant to, but like you get to a point where it's just impossible without cheating, in my opinion. Did this news just break, David? Did this just happen? Because I had a look at Twitter before I came out here, and nobody was talking about this. It was mostly Brexit and Transformers and comics. There was nothing about a PS Classic. Did you see that? You know how they put the classic? They announced it on Wednesday, and this is Friday. I completely missed out. I've not watched the Bombcast or anything game related since then. They have not been keeping a pace with gaming news. I assume it's fine. You know how they put out the Switch online and you get the free NES games if you sign up, and it's like Netflix, right? I had a wee look at the stores today, and you can buy separately Sonic 1. Like Sega, is it like Sonic Mega or something? Sonic Legends? But it's just Sonic 1. And it's clearly like a cash grab. They've clearly just noticed or like knew that like this NES thing was coming out, and that like the people that buy them and or are going to play them are probably going to get like, oh, these are fun, but where's Sonic? And they've just put Sonic 1 out on the Switch, like on its own. And it's got some stuff from like Sonic Mania in it, and it's got some stuff from other places, but it is literally just Sonic 1 for like £6. I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted, but I'm not good at classic Sonic, so I wouldn't have had any enjoyment with that. I'm kind of considering getting the Switch multiplayer stuff so I can play NES games, because I've never played NES games other than on those plug and play hack things for the TV. I don't know which games are up, because I'd probably have a hell of a time playing Zelda 1 or whatever. And if there's a Castlevania, I'd be all over that. But I suppose they'll be just Nintendo ones, won't they? Oh, this has been a good wee good interlude. We can probably get back to Cumbernauld Comic Con now. There was a dude, the second dude to talk to, power seller of toys, nerd stuff. He had anime stuff, he had older 80s and 90s stuff. I feel like there was Ghostbusters and that kind of stuff. He also had a giant that I've never seen it in person. I had to take a picture, and like when I took a picture, the guy started talking to me. But he had G1 Fortress Maximus, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the Grail. It was like the Grail of Grails. I'd never thought I'd see it in person, let alone in like Scotland, like just at Cumbernauld at a wee local con. Never actually got into the box because I spoke to him and I asked him how much it is, because like my girlfriend, they were like, Craig, you have to ask him how much it is, and I was like, okay. And I asked him, and I think he said, if I'm recalling correctly, he said it was like £400, but he would do it for like 350 or something. He'd cut me a cheeky wee deal, to get it to still three figures deep for a toy, and I was like, that's not even for Christmas or multiple Christmases, or not even for not even in my decadentist moods would I buy that or purchase that. He seemed, like I say, to be a power seller. Like, he didn't know what he had. He was saying it was like Chinese or Japanese or something. I was like, clearly you know all about G1 Fortress Maximus. Clearly you know it's the car robots like reissue, because it was like brave Maximus looking dude, which is, in my opinion, the better color scheme for Maximus. He's got all the wee lights. He looks like a proper city. He said he had like four of them, so I imagine he was like again, like a power seller. He's on eBay, snatching up what he can snatch up, making them deals, making the dollar. It was kind of just enough to see it, really, to see it in person, to even see the box, because like the box was bigger than my torso. Like, the fact that or the original toy was like made in the 80s is kind of mind-boggling. I suppose it's not, because that was the era of like crazy, extravagant and decadent toys. Like, have you seen like the G.I. Joe playsets? That's like an entire battleship that's like not properly scaled to G.I. Joes, but they made an attempt. You can see all my burps. Don't know if you can hear them. That was kind of that was the con, That was like Ratchet, Fortress Maximus, G1 Fortress Maximus, and then cheeky pickup of G2 Megatron and Mudflap, who I'm adamant. I'm just calling him Erector. He is the Micromaster Erector. Erector is it's incredible that they named him that. Incredible that they named him that in the 90s, and they've stuck with it. And you can just go to Erector's wiki page and have a great time. I don't know if they used this toy in the Hall of Fame bio for Erector that one year when internet people got Erector into the Transformers Hall of Fame, and then they had to make content about Erector. I'm gonna guess that they did. Like, this is an iteration of Movieverse Erector. I'm well into him. He's a great toy. He's a wee bit limited in his like posability, but he is a giant yellow like industrial boy that I'm calling Erector. I get a good time out of just seeing him there, having a wee laugh at his existence. And the fact that I got him with G2 Megatron, who I've never had G2 Megatron or anything close to G2 Megatron, really. I've never had the big purple and green tank guy. And I've always kind of liked this mold, or like Hero Megatron from afar, because you see the Archforce page, and you're like, what is Archforce? Why did they do this? Why did they release Megatron again and take off his silly sticker that makes the toy? Like, it is the centerpiece of that toy. Like, I don't care about his silly like pump action gimmicks, or the fact that he's a quite good toy from the early 90s. The fact that he has a giant sticker that says Megatron rules on his chest is amazing. I've always hated Transformers with stickers on them that say their name. See Optimus Prime that has Optimus Prime written on him. Again, I think it's the G2 one. I see, it's just their name. It's just I don't get it. I don't feel anything. I'm just like, this is just off-putting. This is distracting. The fact that Megatron has Megatron rules with an exclamation mark written on his chest is the dumbest, most Liefeldian like kid thing imaginable, and I love it. And then that dumb mimetic thing is bolted onto a pretty good toy. Like, he's really posable for what he is. He can't. His legs are a wee bit hollow, so they kind of impede a lot of the athleticness of kind of posing him about. But he can do stuff. Like, if you gave him time, he could probably stand on one leg. I've not actually had that time to do him. I'm running out of steam. I've not actually had that much time to pose with him. I've kind of just left him on the shelf to look pretty. And then the other day on Twitter, someone was posting about the Hero Optimus with the white trousers, and I'm like, I might need to get him. I've never really liked him, but the photos this guy was doing on Twitter were really, really nice. And for whatever reason, they put me in mind of Freddie Mercury. Like, his white trousers on Optimus, like the stylishness of it, and it made it look like Optimus was just wearing trousers and didn't have like a shirt on. So I got like this really strong Freddie Mercury vibe, and I was like, might have to acquire that to stand next to the Megatron. Let me know, Transformers people, if you eventually listen to this, if £5 was a good deal for Hero Megatron. He doesn't have his gun, like his Wii gun. I love the fact that they gave him a Wii gun. He's got this giant, like, Metal Gear air pump rail cannon on his shoulder, but they decided to give him like a wee Uzi as the giant nukes, the rockets on his wrists, which my one doesn't come with. I didn't know about that at the time, and I'm trying not to feel sad that he doesn't have them, but it eats away at me sometimes. And then I remember how amazingly he transforms. Like, it's kind of sad to see all of the cool engineering tricks in this nearly 30-year-old toy that certain toys these days don't have. Like, he's got a really cool trap door to hide his head when his head transforms back into tank mode, and then the cannon could have easily, and probably these days would have just stayed where it is on his shoulder, like they would have just kind of fudged a tank mode out of it. But there's like this wee sliding rail that feels like super premium that he just has, you know? And then you think about toys from this year and you think how they're just bricks, and like his big form, his proper G2 Megatron toy, is just like one of the bricks. But this guy, and I guess maybe that's what they were getting at with Hero, that they're like posable, action hero kind of thing. But he's really posable. Like, he can do stuff. He can emote, and he can like you can put him in a walking pose, a walking pose. But if you're still watching, David, and you hear this, give us a wee thumbs up, because it was a good time talking to you. I might stop here. I think we've talked about everything I need to talk about in this haul. I mean, eventually I'll try and get a working phone so you can see the Transformers that I'm babbling about. But I'm kind of having a lot of fun just talking. You know, it's a very good thing. You know, it's a very. Did you like and unlike it there? Is that what just happened? Did the like go to 0 and then go to 1? Is that you showed me that you're watching? Hello, I'm here. Yes. Is there any other news that's happened that I've no noticed? Because I can't believe I missed that PS1 announcement. I would have been all over that had I seen it. I thought I could thumb more than once, so it was here. This is good. You're like a caller. Do you have any like horrible opinions like Brexit and like we can do a Jeremy Vine here. Oh no, we've got 20% battery remaining. I might go as far as 10% battery. Just try not to derail the Transformers chat, Phelps. No, that's fine. The derailment, I think, is part of the fun. Like, I know that the thing is to go for the monoculture, like, just do singular content, like, this is Transformers based and this is all it is, and I know that's what people want, but I can't do it. Like, I just don't feel it. See, when people, like, complain that, like, oh, I'm not doing enough Transformers pictures, go away. Like, I didn't want that. Like, I'm going to post the pictures of the toys that I have. I'm sorry if that seems arrogant, but that's how I feel. Alright, we can do a Jeremy Vine. Do you think that Enoch Powell wasn't that racist after all? Do you think that maybe, milk shouldn't be regulated at all? Do you have any strong feelings about pavements that you want to share with us? Write in, text, email, comment. Brexit means Brexit. Brexit does mean Brexit. Whatever Brexit means, it means that it means Brexit. I was actually looking at Sky News today on my lunch, and I saw that Theresa May was like saying that she should be respected, which I had a good laugh at, and then that seemed to spiral into its own news story and everything. Like, I had the bean dread today. You know when you're out walking and you remember that Brexit's a coming, and you're like, "Good God, I've not got enough beans." Because this is off topic now. That's fine. We've talked about Transformers. That's part one of the thing. Part two, off topic, and yeah, don't have enough beans. You just set off my Alexa. How? Buy beans, Alexa. Alexa, buy beans. Buy all the beans, Alexa. The news started. Sky News. Play Sky News. Oh god, that's terrifying. Did you see that? I don't know if it was a news story, but it might be a meme where it was a door. It was an AI door that you couldn't get into unless you smiled, and that's like a Doctor Who episode. That's like the Happiness Patrol. Like, also they still have, and I don't know if it's just our Poundland, but they still have the Elvis Presley AIs in our Poundland when you go to the self checkout. I was there the other day, and like it was doing like one, like it was like 1:04 in the morning, and I was like, I have to laugh. I have to laugh every single time. Doctor Who chat. Oh yeah, Doctor Who, Womter Who. The weirdly low key trailer. I've not seen any of the weirdly low key trailers. I have seen Jodie. Is it Jodie Whittaker? The youth songs. Yeah, that one that you showed me seemed absolutely terrible. I don't know what original music they had on that, and then just snatched, like you were saying, they just snatched it from the top charts or whatever. I don't like youth music. It's all just noise, and not even that great noise. It's just ambient bleh. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to cut this in like a minute when it hits 10% because my phone's a liar. Like it's not got 20% in it at all. It's got like 2 minutes left. But I saw, is it Jodie Whittaker? Is that oh, sorry. Is it Jodie Whittaker? Is that her name? I saw she was doing it was a social media thing where she was reading mean texts, mean tweets about Doctor Who, and they were all like, "Oh, Doctor Who's a worm now. I'm no watching nae," and like Jodie Whittaker, yes. Yeah, she seemed pretty cool. She seems like a good actress. I've not seen Broadchurch, so I've not seen her prior work. I assume she was in Casualty at some point, as is was every actor in Britain. So I could probably go watch Casualty from some point in time and see her. But she's going to be a good doctor. Like that, there's every time we talk about this, I'm quick to be like trolly and be like, oh, she's a woman, and like, oh, these things, but like, it's gonna be fine. And then you remember that everything they've done up to this point, every piece of marketing material, every like little bit of hype they've tried to generate, has been terrible. Like those trailers that they put out on the World Cup, that first one was ridiculously bad, and a lot of people on Twitter, and specifically Hickman, Clayton Hickman, the Doctor Who editor magazine person from the past, he we were talking about that, and he put up a video where he showed like trailers for Doctor Who from like '83, and they were very similar, or they didn't show that much of the thing, they didn't give away monsters or whatever. The point was that like history's repeating itself, and this isn't really a big problem. My problem with that is that it's 2018, like the hype game has changed. Like I don't necessarily I probably would just go into a thing blind, but it's also quite nice to be hyped into it. See if they dropped like a trailer, and I know I bring this up every time, but see if they dropped a trailer and it was like, this is the trailer, here's the Doctor, here's Bradley Walsh, and see if they ended it on, here's Paul McGann. I'd be like, yes! And then, like, they could do no wrong. Like, they could literally do no... And I don't necessarily need it to be Paul McGann, but that is an example. They just need to do something that makes me go, yes, and then they can do no wrong. Like, they could get away with anything. They could make any boring, bland episode, or a horrible episode, or even a good episode, and I'd be like, that's fine. I'm looking forward to Paul McGann. And maybe that says more about me than it does to people making Doctor Who. But and I don't need it to be like an old thing from the past. I just need it to be something that makes me go yas. And nothing they've put out in the trailers other than Bradley Walsh makes me go yas. And I love that Bradley Walsh is in there. I love that Bradley Walsh has infiltrated his way back into Doctor Who through the Sarah Jane Adventures, where I think he played some sort of sad, angry alien clown. Never watched the Sarah Jane Adventures. I'm just going off what my work colleagues tell me about that and my half-remembered memories of them. But the fact I'm looking forward to every scene Bradley Walsh is going to be in. I hope he's in most of the scenes. I hope he's just playing Bradley Walsh. I hope he is the most Bradley Walsh has ever Bradley Walshed. But I don't know how that's possibly a good decision for your TV program that you're aiming at young people. Does Bradley Walsh trend? Like the test for me is right. Will Bradley Walsh be drawn by Tumblr artists? I know Tumblr is not what it was, but if you go to Tumblr post, I was going to say post Brexit there, but if you go to Tumblr post episode 1, and there's finely, lovingly crafted art of Bradley Walsh with like flowers round his head, Bay Bradley and like, best character Bradley. Young people like the chase, but they don't like the chase because maybe they like the chase because of Bradley Walsh. They like the chase because it's the chase. I, I, I don't know if it's heresy to say that you could replace Bradley Walsh and people would still like it, but I don't think that like Bradley Walsh is the right decision to appeal to millennials. I'll say it. I'll say it right there. I think that millennials don't like Bradley Walsh. You're right to say it's the ITV1 Brexit crowd that like Bradley Walsh. That's not wrong. I like Bradley Walsh. I like that he's a man from the 80s that you could see in an episode of Minder. I like that they showed him eating chips in a chippy in the trailer. That was probably the best part. I think he was reading a Beano. Was he reading a Beano in that trailer? At some point he was reading a Beano. Like, they're leaning into Bradley Walsh. I genuinely hope he's from the 80s. I don't think he's going to go down well. And I say that knowing that it doesn't matter. You know how, like, my example is how Donna was a terrible character in her first episode, or at least came off as a terrible character. I think you can watch The Runaway Bride nowadays and it's fine. But like back in the day, that came out, was not a great Christmas episode, was not a great episode of Doctor Who, and she was an incredibly annoying character. And then they announced that she was going to be. The Doc does have amnesia by the what? What? The Doctor, like, for the first episode? Do you know who else has amnesia right now? Bumblebee in the Transformers cartoon. Because that's the level that they operate at. The Doctor has amnesia? Oh my lord. Is it like explosive amnesia? Like in Futurama? I don't. That's. The first episode synopsis mentions amnesia. Well, maybe again, this is the thing. It doesn't matter because you can make anything good. Like that's where content is these days. It doesn't matter what it is, who it's by, or what it's doing. It can be made well. She lands in Sheffield, and there's aliens, and she has amnesia. That sounds like a great episode 1. I don't know how they could continue having amnesia after episode 2. That seems like something that would anger up my blood if she had amnesia for more than one episode. Like an amnesia plot's fine, and especially in a like wibbly wobbly like it's a mad regeneration episode. Like just go to Castrovalva in the Zero Cabinet. Peter Davidson, like just ineffectual Doctor for an episode. I know she won't be ineffectual. She'll win despite having amnesia. See if it's a plot where the entire season she has amnesia and she's trying to remember things and like she's like, oh, I remember the sonic screwdriver. Oh, I remember the TARDIS. I remember the time. I am. Maybe I'll be into that, but again, why? Like, I suppose the reason is that'll appeal to newcomers because you can introduce elements of the series one at a time at a staggered pace. Like, it makes sense. But again, it's 2018. Like, what are you doing? Why an amnesia plot? That's insane. That reminds me of see, I know you probably like this, David, and I know people out there probably like this, and I know this is a comic booky trope. But see, when Hawkeye was just mind controlled in the first Avengers, I was deeply angered. Like, I think that's a dumb decision when you're making your giant, big budget, $1 billion film in 2012, current year argument. God, that was a while ago, but I don't know how they got away with just doing not an amnesia, doing a mind control thing in that film. That still irks me to today. And I know we got a lot more, I guess love is the word in the second Avengers, but it seems like just a guff thing to do to a character for a film. Like, why would you do that? And like, Really, I can't believe that she's got amnesia. 10% battery remaining. We're gonna have to wrap it up, I think. I don't have a charger here. The first episode is called "The Woman Who Fell to Earth." Thank you for providing me with material. That's fun. That's a David Bowie thing, isn't it? The Man Who Fell to Earth. He did played him in the film, and I imagine that's kind of the focus of a lot of his musical work. That seems like a cool thing to call a Doctor Who episode. I don't remember Doctor Who episode titles past a certain point. I could tell you every single one of season 1 to season 4-ish, mostly. And then after season 5 and onwards, especially after season 5, when it hits season 6, I have no idea what episodes of Doctor Who are called. A lot of them are called like Day of the Doctor. I'm just baffled by the sheer copying of the start of Matt Smith. Matt Smith didn't necessarily have amnesia, did he? He knew who he was and what he was doing. Yes, I suppose she's falling out of the TARDIS is what you mean. Yeah, I mean you saw the papers on that day. Was it New Year's Day, Christmas Day, when it's like, oh, she's a woman driver and she's crashed the TARDIS. First thing she did, that was horrible. Like that seems like an own goal. Just replace the country town with Sheffield. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Sheffield's like a big place. I don't know anything about it. I imagine it's a city or a town, and the urban youths instead of Amy Pond. I don't know how youthy they are. I've not looked into this since we talked last, but that footage that came out that got leaked, it made it look like they were working like on a train, or at least one of them was like a police officer. Well, I suppose that doesn't help the cause for copying Matt Smith. I thought they wanted to copy David Tennant. I thought that was the thing. They wanted to be more family friendly and more appealing to the super youths and the whole family. I oh, I don't know. I will probably love it because it's new Doctor Who without Stephen Moffat, and I don't think I can latch on to hating Chibnall as much because he's kind of he wrote Cyberwoman. Like, how can you hate that? How can you be against that? He wrote Cyberwoman and then made a critically acclaimed STV show, and now he's writing Doctor Who. Also, he was on like some show in the 80s criticizing Doctor Who or criticizing Tyler the Time Lord. That's a hell of a timeline. Like I can't not get behind that. I can vaguely just be, you know, blasé about it and just not interested. I'll probably watch the first episode, and then if it doesn't hook me, like if it doesn't have like a huge cliffhanger or a huge reason to come back next week, I'll probably just leave the next few episodes and watch them in a oneer. I bet it'll drop on Netflix, by the way. I don't know if they've said anything about that, but I bet it'll be on the iPlayer and Netflix because they want to get as many people watching it as they can. But yeah, thanks for listening. I might adopt that as a format. We might do first half hour of listener question. Well, not listener question. First half hour of Transformers content, and then a second half hour of listeners' questions, because it makes me feel like Alan Partridge or a proper podcast. Bye. Thank you for listening. See you again.